2026 feels like a turning point for me. Not because of the tools or the trends, but those anyway keep changing every day, right? Every week. But because being a product designer in this AI driven world is starting to demand something more deeper, more than just designing a screens or the UIs or just deciding the colors. It's demanding something more deeper. So instead of setting some vague goals, I sit down and reflect back what I really want to get better at, what kind of designer I want to become in this 2026 year. One big shift for me in 2026 is beyond designing screens. I want to design the behavior, especially the AI behavior. I want to curate that behavior. When you work with AI products, the behavior is not static anymore. Because nowadays system respond, it guesses. Sometimes it's confident, sometimes it's unsure, and sometimes it's wrong. And that's what we call it as an experience. And I want to spend more time understanding how AI behaves, how it feels, and how we as a designers can communicate this to the users without breaking the trust. Because good AI design isn't about making the things look smart. It's more about making them feel understandable and safer. And another most important resolution for me is to build the things myself. Not perfect products, not even polished startup, just small experiments with AI products. Because every time you start building something new, maybe something very tiny, you start noticing things that most of the times you ignore, like the cost, the delays, the edge cases, the weird outputs. You need to handle those kind of cases when you are designing for some special things, like special AI behaviors. Because when you start something from the scratch, you adapt that thing. And that's a beautiful thing if you learn in your early stages. And once you start seeing those things firsthand, your design decisions automatically got changed. You don't design in isolation anymore. You design with more empathy for engineers, for users, and for the system itself. And in 2026, I want to lean into the discomfort of building and breaking things, because I believe the real learning starts from that. And I am also consciously shifting my focus from chasing the tools, because there's a new tool every week and it's tempting to keep jumping from one tool to another every time. But now I really want to understand the AI UX, the agentic experience. I want to understand how do you show when your model is not sure, when your system is not sure. How do you show the uncertainty without confusing your users? How do you prevent the people trusting AI blindly and rejecting it completely? And these questions don't change with the tools. And it's more valuable if you start getting better at answering rather than learning new next shiny feature. Another thing in 2026 that I'm committed to is product thinking. I want to be very clear with how something exists instead of seeing that how it just looks. I want to understand the trade-offs, the constraints, and its impact. See, AI products especially comes with a real cost, not just technical but ethical and human ones. And I think designers need to be a part of that conversation instead of just handed up the decisions at the end. So I want to design with more intention. I want to know what it changes, what it impacts, and what happens when it fails. And when it comes to content, I'm changing how I show the things up. I want to show less polished things and more thinking behind that. And want to show more behind the scene design that didn't work for me for the first time, and why it didn't work for me. Because I have realized that what actually helps people isn't the final UI, it's the thinking that goes behind that product. And finally, clarity. being clear what kind of designer I want to be, what kind of problems I want to solve, and what kind of roles I no longer want to go into. I don't know why, but yes, I want to be very clear about the things what I want to do in 2026, what I want to learn in 2026 without rushing the things much. So my 2026 resolutions are not about doing more. It's about doing things with intentions. It's about designing AI that feels more human and building things that teach me something and becoming designer who just not know about the interface, they know about the system itself. ज़्यादा हो गया? If you are navigating this shift too, you are not late. We all are figuring out, and we need to figure out things, I think, for whole life, because we need to survive in this AI era, and we are not here to beat AI, but we are here to have a good friends with AI. So yes, and don't forget, before these professions you need to be very good with your mental state, your health. So eat healthy, stay healthy, do some exercises, do some yoga before, because this is the basic necessity that you do before going into any other professional work, right? So yes, that's all about it. And let me know what are your resolutions for 2026. I would love to know about that. And we will meet you in the next one with some more interesting content or projects. Whatever I shared in this, I am making sure that I will do that in 2026, and I'll make sure that I'll share each and every thing that I have in my journey, 2026 journey, and I will share with you. So yes, till then, stay safe, stay healthy, eat healthy, and bye. Namaskara.